Good morning everyone. Today we're going to be talking about what to do in PSO2 because I've seen a lot of people sort of complaining, not really complaining, but just kind of saying that there's nothing to do in PSO2. So in today's video, I'm just going to be explaining what I personally do as well as what other things I would like to do, but I just simply don't have enough time to play the game. But first of all, if you're new to the channel, I upload PSO2 content daily. So if you do play this game, I'd really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing that I recommend most people to do is to have a goal. So my goal is pretty simple, to be honest. It's just to make a lot of Meseta. I'm very far away from what I want to be at. I want to be at 300 million Meseta. It's not a lot of Meseta per se compared to other content creators such as Dudley. I think Dudley has 1 billion Meseta right now, or he's like really close to 1 billion Meseta, which is kind of nuts. But set a goal of like how much money you want to make. Mainly because with Meseta, you can buy fashion, you can buy gear. It's like the most flexible currency that you can just buy whatever the heck you want with it. So super duper nice. So that's one goal that I always have. It's more of like a long-term goal, which I slowly work towards because I do my dailies, I do my weeklies. I don't really play the market because I'm free to play. So in order to play the market, I need to do the fun scratch, like, you know, spend like 100,000 fun points to get like that 1 3-day ticket. Then I can play the market for 3 days. So I don't really play the market because of that. But if you are a premium member and you do have knowledge of the market, then playing the market is a very fast way to make Meseta. Unfortunately, for free-to-play players, if you do want to play the market, you're going to have to jump through that hoop of getting a ton of fun points, scratching for the 3-day ticket, and using it to play the market for 3 days. And if you want to play more, then you're going to need multiple tickets. So it does get pretty tedious very quickly. So kind of sucks if you're free to play like me. But it is what it is. Another goal to have is to farm up all the modules that you need for your units. You can see over here I've got 88 Shiva modules. It's really easy because whenever the Shiva quest comes up, you simply just do the urgent quest. I'm really short on Varuna modules. I have no idea why I only have 13 Varuna modules, but I need to get working on that. I need to farm up for more of these. I've got 25 Mitra modules and 36 Execute modules. So I do need to work on these. Mainly you need the modules for your Klauz units, but I wouldn't be too worried about it because as a lot of you guys predicted, we probably are going to get the units for free later down the line, right? Obviously, people who make their units through the modules and farming for all the materials, you guys are going to be able to get the units first, enjoy them to the fullest extent, and then maybe like a month later or 2 to 3 weeks later, we might get it free from like a login event or like a campaign of some sort, alright? But if you're struggling to find things to do, definitely farm for these. You can get these from divide quests. Basically, every week you get 1 million points on your divide quest, and you're guaranteed Varuna modules, Mitra modules, and Execute modules. And then, you know, the Shiva modules is so easy to get. Whenever the Shiva urgent quest comes up, you just run it. So boom, that's how you get all your modules, all right? Remember, the divide quest, the 1 million points thing is per character. So if you're free to play and you have 3 characters that can all do divide quest, just farm on all 3 of them, finish the 1 million points per character every single week, and you will get a ton of modules. Okay, it's not really a ton. I think you get like 3 of each module every week, but at least it's guaranteed, so you don't have to bust your butt and, you know, farm bosses over and over. But, you know, if you want to do that, you can do that as well, because with Divide Quest, you get a bunch of materials as well. You get a bunch of the Lumen Fragments as well as the Lumen Crystals, which are going to become very important, especially when your Klauz weapon comes out. So this leads up to point number 3, and that is working towards your Klauz weapon. I highly recommend people get ready for the Klauz weapon. You will need 4 of the Lumen Crystals over here. You'll need, I think, like 400 Lumen Fragments, and then you're going to need the Diards. So Diards over here, you could only get these by salvaging 15-star weapons, so you do need 50 of them. So I definitely would start working towards all of those, and also pay attention to the enhancement capsules if you don't want to make multiple copies of the Dark Banisher Air weapon. So these would be the main things that I would be working towards, but my priority list is mainly making more Meseta, make sure that I have all the materials I need in order to make my Klauz weapon the moment it comes out, And finally would be my units. Now adding on to the weapons would also be the S grade augments. So if we look over here for my S grade augments, I have I think it's called Augment Will over here. Yeah, right here, S1 Augment Will. Potency increases based on the number of augments, increased by 4%. So this is going to be my S1. My S2 is literally on my katana. So if we look right here, you know, my S2 is going to be Precision Will, my S3 is going to be Precision Will, and then my S4 is going to be a capsule. Actually, I have a capsule over here. Let me just search S4 right here. I have the add S4 precise balance. So this is going to be my S4, you know, critical rate decreased by 50%, but increases my critical potency by 6%. So this is going to be really good. And then my S5 is actually going to be ripped off my Rivelate weapon. I'm going to be changing the Rivelate bow back into the Rivelate gunblade, so that I can get the S5 from that. That gives me life steal as well as 20% critical rate. Because remember, my S4 is going to decrease my critical rate by 50%. And so I need to make sure that I do have a 150% crit rate so that I can guarantee that I still have a 100% crit rate even with the S4 debuff where I lose 50% on my crit rate, you know? So it's a lot of planning, it's a lot of preparation, but it's actually not that bad at all, all right? And once all that's done, then the last thing that I would be focusing on would probably be fashion. I would just be looking around and seeing whatever emotes that I like, whatever fashion pieces I want, and I would probably just try to buy them at a cheap price whenever they come up. Because as we all know, fashion is the true end game. Now, if you don't care about any of your gear and you're just like, hey man, I'm a casual player, I'm just gonna wait until I get my free Klaus weapon, Klaus units, all that jazz, then you know, easy peasy, just wait for it. And now let's say you've done all of those things. The last thing I would do is to prepare for Guardian Soul, if you do want to make Guardian Soul. Because to prepare for Guardian Soul, it is quite the process. Because let's see over here, let's go to a crack 4, right? So if we want to get crack 4 on a unit over here, you know, this is like 15 million right here for crack 4, and this is only a 1 slot over here. But you know, in order to work towards getting all your crack 4s, crack 5s, you know, veteran resolve, just all that jazz, and to make your perfect Guardian Soul 4 augment piece, it's going to take a while. It's going to be pretty expensive. And another thing that I would recommend people to stock up on are going to be recycle badges as well, because you're going to need a ton of these in order to get the 4 augment protections. So I do have a couple of those. I believe I got some from actually a title. So it's called the Augment Insurance, maximum 4 slots. So you can see I have one over here. However, I got this through a title. I think it was when I soloed Extreme Mission and I beat it. I got it from a title or something. I don't really remember where I got it from. But if you want more of those, you're going to need to go to the swap shop over here and scroll down a little bit. And right here, Augment Insurance, max 4 slots. However, it's going to cost you 10 recycle badges each, all right? So at the current going rate, it's like 12 mil for each of these insurances, and you're going to need multiple of these if you are going to be making Guardian Soul, because Guardian Soul only has a 10% chance success rate, and if you use like a 50% booster, which I don't think many people have that many of them, but you know, if you do, that only pushes it up to 60%. And then let's wait until like an augmentation week where it gives you like, you know, 15%, then you only have 75% of success. So it's still quite the journey. So you're going to need a lot of these. If you prep it beforehand, it's probably going to be a little bit cheaper, probably save you a little bit of Meseta, because the moment they announce the new urgent quest, you can bet your butt all these prices are going to go ballistic, because everyone else is going to be like, oh yeah, I'm ready, I'm going to be making my Guardian Soul. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully it was helpful. If it was, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.
What can I say except you're welcome for the heals, the boosts, the rest.